It was at that point about 8 months from the day I joined that I realized that I was going to be successful. It's interesting looking back on it, like, I didn't sign up anybody in my first 4 months, so I'm sitting here feeling like this colossal failure. There was times where I was second guessing the whole process constantly of like, is this right? Should I be doing this? Am I gonna make it? Is it gonna work? Finally, I became coachable and followed the system, and I launched my business, and I made a few $100s. I was excited about that, but then, it was an up and down rocky road those next 4 months. And my good friend Artemis said something I thought was brilliant. She said, if you can't go back, then you must go forward. And if you must go forward, failure is not an option. And if failure is not an option, your success is inevitable. And when I heard that, I was like, that's it. That's the deal. I'm gonna make it because I'm not going back. So for about 4 or 5 months, I'm plugging in, I'm learning, but I'm growing. And I started reading the books and attending events. And a lot of the information that I got, I was intrigued with, because I was like, how come no one taught me this stuff in school? I had challenges with replication and duplication, and I was learning how to lead, not just followers, but lead leaders, especially when you're trying to just become a leader yourself. And then my 4th year is I cracked a 6-figure income. And for me, when I was at 24 years old, being able to be in a position like that was incredible. And then in 2011, I was part of a corporate buyout, and I was excited about the potential of the future, but a little cautious, concerned, a little scared. As a result of that, I got to the point where I wasn't excited about what I was building anymore. I lost my sense of passion, not in people, but just in my belief that I was doing the right thing still. Secret came into my life in 2011, and it was a family member in Chicago called me and said, hey Jess, I'm taking a look at this thing, Secret, have you ever heard of it? I was like, no. And he said, would you be interested? I was like, no. This stuff's stupid. I've seen all these things before, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. No, man, you're gonna have a garage full of crap. Nobody's gonna want it because you have no real customer at the end of the day. I've seen all these things before. He's like, look at it for me. And I was like, fine. Turns out my partner, she was actually already purchasing the product. She bought them at our local mall. They stopped her, they buffed her thumb, and she bought a few different sets, and she loved the product. And so I kind of had to eat my words, because I just told them, people get into these businesses and there's no real customer. And then I got home and I was already a customer. I was like, oh, this is interesting. But once I met the family and heard their story and where they came from and what they were doing, we had to do it. We had to get started. There was no other option. It felt like home. And for the last 5 years, it's felt more like home than ever before. And I can lay my head down at night knowing that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I can feel confident in leading people to a community that I know that they're going to be supported and loved. I mean, it was crazy. I'm just slapping everything on everybody in the wrong place in the wrong order, but it still worked because the products were that good. But I didn't have to be the expert in the product side. The products did all the heavy lifting. The business side was the fun part, because we were just building a community and saying, look guys, we're going to go build something amazing and we want you to be a part of it. We started earning it, an excess of income that was far beyond what I needed financially to take care of ourselves. And so we started putting incentive trips together just for the leaders in the organization. So our first incentive trip, we went down to Costa Rica. We rented this like 10,000 square foot house, 4 floors, and took about a dozen leaders down to Costa Rica. And we just had an absolute blast for a week. The monkeys were coming in and with the trees and going on the ATVs and renting out the catamarans. And we did a team contest as well, where you went out there and you did a certain number of presentations and you earned a cruise. And so we took like almost 100 people on a cruise and took over the ship. And it's been incredible being able to give people experiences. And a lot of people that were either on the cruise or people that were coming to us to Costa Rica or to Thailand, a lot of them had never been out of the country. And so getting a chance for that to be their experience with us and create those memories, it's unforgettable. I can't wait for the next trip. It's interesting reflecting back today, because I got to do a lot of touring in my late teens and got a chance to really travel to many countries teaching, which I love. Yeah, it's amazing. It was absolutely a completely dream come true for me, getting a chance to perform on stage with the Jabberwockies and seeing them go to winning dance competitions, but having their own show in Vegas and seeing it perform and grow, for me it was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. So I'm so grateful. What I'm really excited about is where we are right now, of having the foundation laid for everybody to come in here with smooth tracks to really run on. And whether you're looking to go 2 miles an hour or 200 miles an hour, the results that you can create with this team and with this system are absolutely incredible. I love seeing people go from this is possible to now this is possible to now this is possible. And that changed my world, because nobody in dance ever came up to me afterwards and said, Jesse, what you did today changed my life. But in this business, I get it all the time. You know, I don't know where you are in your life right now, but I can tell you that if you aren't waking up every day excited about your future, what do you got to lose? Try something new, try something different. I can tell you that if you aren't living on passion and you aren't living on faith, I think you're missing the whole game. At the end of the day, you know, here's the thing you're only banking and betting on: you. And I felt like I was worth a shot. And I hope you do too. I'm just grateful to be one person that's going to be a part of something that people will talk about forever.